All right, family, we are back, man. I don't know what was recording and what wasn't, so I had to do a part two. But I wanted to make sure you get the algorithm of the day. My creativity is a weapon against oppression. Once again, my creativity is a weapon against oppression. Let me say that for you one more time, and maybe you can say it with me and say it and throw some emotion in there, family. Come on now. My creativity is a weapon against oppression. I want y'all to think about that, family. That's a powerful statement. Now, because we got to move forward. So let's go into the haikus. My haikus of the day are Simple Camp ending, returning to life anew, time to change the world. Did y'all like that? Is that Brother Haiku? Brother Haiku. I know y'all like Brother Haiku. We still ain't made this. I ain't hit the script yet. All right. Next haiku. Strategic release is a necessary tool for the health of tribe. All right. Now, let me just say this. Going back to the first haiku, then I'll come to the second one. First haiku is about the energy that I leave Simba Camp with every year, right? Dr. Dolly spoke on this, or Baba, the Baba of the village, right? Because I want y'all to know who he is. Dr. Dolly he spoke about how the energy of the young people healed him. When he gets in the circle and he does the yoga that he does and the healing processes that he go through and the energy that the young people pour into him during this experiences, it renews him. And you take this energy and you enter back into the world, right? A new person, a newborn, born again, as some would say, right? And at that point in time, it feels as if you could change the world, right? So once again, Simba Camp ending, returning to life anew, time to change the world. Now, here's the second one. Strategic release is a necessary tool for the health of the tribe. So what happened with the process last night was the release process. So during the whole rites of passage piece, you have energy being built up. You have lessons being given. You have restrictions that are enforced. You have limits that people are constantly reminded about. You have things structuring an individual, but preparing them for the moment of release. Now, this happens in life too. And let me just say this before I move on to what we do with young people. Old folk, you need to have moments of release. I used to watch my elders. I grew up Baptist. I used to watch my elders every now and then. You know, you would get something that would really, really catch the Holy Ghost every week. But, you know, those elders that couldn't jump around all the time, when they got it, the church knew it was okay to really, really release, right? You have to find some way to release. And I'm talking about releasing in the African way, right? I mean, because that may involve some yelling and shouting and screaming and just letting it out, letting that energy flow, that release, right? Some people get it in different ways, but one of the most economical is getting to a point to where you're doing things that speak a language that's beyond just words, right? Because some people think that they could release by just doing these words, but no. The first language. The first language. Your mama didn't. Your mama was able to give you everything you needed without you being able to even have to say a word to her. Your emotions, the things that you emoted, the things that you did, right? She was able to pick up on. That's the original language. And sometimes we got to release like that. So we had that experience here. But I'm going to say to you, You need to go in and find some way to have strategic releases with your tribe, within your family, right? Because sometimes you gotta yell. See, and I be feeling bad because I can't put it into words and shit. Well, sometimes words is not enough. Sometimes you just need the two black and let it out. You know what I'm saying? Just let it out, release it, right? And the two black is just an example, right? But family, we are moving into a crucial time of our people's development, and I am grateful for it. Although the times are going to be hard because we're figuring out very slowly the truth of what we are involved in this experiment called America, right? But anyway, next one, hold to your feelings. Sometimes words can mess things up. Okay to just feel. Learn to read your feelings and learn to read other people's feelings, right? Sometimes people don't need for you to say a word to them. Sometimes they might just need you to put your hand on their shoulder and sit by them and allow them to rock through it. Sometimes they might just need you to just sit there with them, right? Sometimes you know what I'm saying? Sometimes words are not enough. Words can't fulfill. Hold to your feelings. Now, and the reason this one came up, because once again, I'm going to go to a story. I tell this story all the time. I had it was a comparative religious class. I had a white professor who went to Africa and was adopted by an African family, and in that African family, he was able to go through that community's rites of passage. And me being who I am, I'm going to ask him, hey man, tell me about it. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. He would give me some basics. I said, well, but it was certain things he would stop. He would stop at a certain point. He'd be like, yo, it's certain things that I can't share with you because by me sharing it with you, I would diminish the power for myself. We believe that evolution is evolving to being able to exist inside your head and being able to explain everything. And for some of us, when shit can't be explained, it gets very uncomfortable for us because we exist in our heads, right? We have been taught to exist in our heads. But wars are not won by existing in the head. Discoveries are not necessarily made by just existing in the head. Inventions don't come about by just existing in your head. Life is not lived by just existing in your head. So what I'm trying to say to you is okay to just feel. Hold to your feelings. Some things don't need to be expressed. Some words can mess things up. All right? Next. And I think this is the last one. Yeah. Words are not the way. Some things cannot and should not spoken about. Should not be spoken about. Be spoken about. Yeah, I forgot the be on there. Words are not the way. Sometimes cannot and should not be spoken about. Some things cannot and should not be spoken about. I want you to think about that. I want you to wrap your mind about that, right? And I'm not talking about the secret violations that may be happening in families and shit. I'm not talking about that. There's certain spiritual experiences that you have that are for you. There's certain experiences, joyous moments that you have that are for you. And sometimes you ruin them by trying to put words on them. Shut your mouth and feel. Shut your mouth and speak the original language. Allow the universe to speak. The universe don't speak to you. I don't even think our ancestors speak to us. I don't think. I'm thinking that they may emote to us. And sometime into it, I guess, whatever the intuition picks up on. But more than likely ain't coming through as no words. You know what I'm saying? Learn from the Metunetter shit. Because we might be limiting that shit by trying to put words on it. And rather than really, you know what I'm saying, maybe you really need to be plugged into the culture at the time, because then it would make total sense to you. But hey, who am I? I'm just some nigga with a podcast. All right, hey. So the loop, Ubuntu loop. I am because we are because I am. Here are some of the adjectives for the day of Kuumba: innovative, expressive, dynamic, resourceful, ingenious, transformative, original, inspired. Those are just some of the adjectives that you could throw into the Ubuntu pledge or the Ubuntu loop for yourself and your community. I am innovative because we are innovative, and we are innovative because I am innovative. You get it? Boom. All right, now go on, rewind that, pick those words up. Now, if I can I get to the script? Anime said get to the script. They ready to go. You know, I guess they ready to go home. I understand. But, this is the hardest part sometimes, leaving Simbaland. So, here is an original haiku by Hatim. I remember this one: unhappy with life, be bold and use your magic to change the story. I wrote that one for a story that I wrote. And I think the story might be called This Is Not My Life. Check out the story. Greetings. I want to send greetings out to the warriors, elders, nation builders, and some of the babies that might be taking the time to listen to Old Man Hatim. Shouts out to the babies. But hey, I pour a drop of libations to honor the ancestors and consecrate the ever-present moment. I want you to gather around the fire or the digital fire of your computer or your cell phone and let the rhythm of the drum settle into your spirit. And let us marinate on the frequency of the day. Today we stand grounded in the vibrant, fiery light of Kuumba, creativity for the uninitiated. Represented by the dominant power of orange, we anchor our posture in creativity. Represented by the dominant power of orange, we anchor our posture in the statement of the day, the algorithm of the day, and for creativity, it is the sixth one. My creativity is a weapon against oppression. Again, we done said it 3 times, but I'm going to say it one more time so that y'all can say it with me. Throw some emotion in there. My creativity is a weapon against oppression. And synthesize it with the profound showing of wisdom handed down across generations. The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. Look closely at the ancient proverb. The axe represents the cold forces of oppression, systems, external circumstances, and captors that strike with brute force. Leave deep gashes in our bark and move along oblivious to the damage left behind. The axe forgets because it does not carry the weight of the blow, nor does it feel the sting of the scar. Oppression relies on systematic amnesia. Somebody type out share if you felt that. Oppression relies on systematic and personal amnesia, operating under the illusion that once a strike is made, the history of the impact vanishes into the thin air. But we are the tree. Our roots run deep into the earth, and our inner rings record every season, every storm, every strike. We remember. or we should. Vienna Achiever, the subtractive approach to self-mastery, teaches us that reclaiming our power does not mean adding more noise or carrying heavier burdens. Oppression works by convincing a people that their survival and well-being remain entirely in the hands of outside forces. To activate true Kuumba, we must scrape off the buildup of false programming, silent compliance, and victimhood that has been glued into our bark or onto our bark. When a dead log is struck, it rots from the womb. But when a living tree unleashes its internal ashe, for those that don't know, that's that life force, it wraps its grains directly around the cut, seals the wound, and continues reaching toward the sun. It turns the historical and personal memory into structural strength. In the Warrior Handbook for Life Journey, I describe this level of creative expression as a weapon of mass creation. When we align Kuumba with sacred memory, creativity ceases to be passive entertainment. It becomes a sovereign blueprint for liberation. Now, although, because I hate putting the dates on this, but I want to list today's date because there's some major pieces that deals with what's happening in the vibe, because next year on this very period when we are standing on, it'll be 7 years from now before we're able to do this one again, but on this historical day, July 25th, we draw strength from those who refuse to let the axe define the trajectory. Mamie Till Mobley. Mamie Till Mobley. Mamie is listen. I had some babies come over there. They are Senegalese, and Mamie is a popular name in them. In that part of the world. Mamie Till Mobley in 1941, on the birth anniversary of Emmett Till, Mamie Till Mobley utilized the radical creativity of truth-telling by forcing the world to witness the open casket. She ensured the tree would remember, transmuting profound grief into the spark of the modern civil rights movement. Garrett Morgan, 1916. Morgan used his patented safety hood to rescue workers trapped beneath Lake Erie, refusing to let systematic prejudice diminish his inventive genius. And W.E.B. Du Bois, 1900, at the first Pan-African Congress, Du Bois declared to the world that our roots, rights, and creative destiny would never be erased. Do not wait for the axe to apologize or acknowledge the cut. Go inward. In the Player's Pyramid, we learn to pull our rhythmic breath all the way down into our Kuumba spot, 2 inches below our belly button, inflating the belly and bringing the spirit, mind, and body into a unified alignment. Scrape off the lie that you need permission to build. Drop the weight of trying to impress the world. Cut the external noise and use the raw material of your life to write your own scroll. Build your own institutions and tell your own stories. Align your spirit. Pull from your potent center and make it happen. Yo, this is Brother High Tim. I want to tell you, hey family, all of the information about Nyame Journey, about Simba, all that stuff can be found down in the description. Tap the dot card and plug in. Come on over to this Telegram where we have the real discussion. Yo, this is Brother High Tim, and you know what that means. You are now listening to Nyame Journey Radio. This is a Heart of a Simba production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigms.